Welcome to Rooted and Divine with me, Caitlin Payne, a podcast for women ready to shed old identities, heal, and align with their soul. Each week, we'll explore spiritual growth, healing, and personal stories that empower you to embody your truth. Rooted in humanity and fully alive as a divine soul. Hello, beautiful friends. It's so good to be with you again this week. This week, we have a special episode dropping with Dani Frederick. I was recently asked to be a part of her vocal summit, and I was a part of her Fireside chat where actually Dani interviewed me and another woman named Monique Temple, who both of us have been in her program for the last year. It's her program that we were in was called Holy Fire. So Dani's actually interviewing Monique and I this week about what it's been like to have our voices open up and the purpose of the voice and how that's changed our lives, how that's changed our family dynamic, and how just how it's blessed us. And so I'm really excited to be able to share this podcast with you. Dani Frederick is an amazing person. I just am so grateful that I've been able to be in her orbit and be able to learn from her. And you'll hear about how I met Dani and what my experience and my journey has been like. And she also is coming out with a beautiful program called The Voices of Venus. And I'll link all the information to that in the show notes. And you can also book a free discovery or resonance call with her to see if it's a good fit for you. I'm going to be in The Voices of Venus, and so will Monique. So we just can't get enough. But whether you choose to be in The Voices of Venus or not, I know that I asked Dani if I could put this on the podcast because I just felt like it had so many great takeaways for why the voice is important. And in fact, I was with a girlfriend today who participated in Dani's 10-day or 5-day summit. And she just was talking to me about how she also grew up Mormon, is no longer Mormon. And she's like, it's interesting because so many of the things that my parents taught me were always trying to help me get back to God and to like feeling really spiritual. And she's like, I've always been interested in chanting and vocalizing. There was always something there for me, but I didn't understand the purpose until I did that summit. And I was invited to chant and to use my voice. And she just said that the way that she feels when she sings just feels so, she said that her frequency feels so high compared to maybe some practice. And this isn't a dig on religion, but just compared to practices that she might have done when she was in a religion. And I loved that she said that because the voice is yours. No one has your voice. No one can be your voice for you. You are your voice, and it is your God-given tool. And it's not about singing the right note. It's not about sounding a certain way. The voice to me is really an amplifier of your soul's essence. And there's a difference between speaking truth and singing truth. And so much truth can't be translated into the English or any language because it encompasses so much more than what a word could ever describe. And each of us have different definitions or relationships with words. And so I could say God, you could say God, and we would both have a different experience of what that meant. So when we're using our voice, it really brings through to me the truest form, the truest essence of who we are without words. And yes, we could be singing English words. We might be singing light language. We might just be toning like A, E, I, or U. And it's really just about feeling your vibration in your body. And I said this in my stories just recently, but the voice, the larynx, is all like looks exactly like a cervix, like a womb. and they're connected. And it's the same if you've ever given birth. That's why they tell you to keep the breath low. The moans low is because it's the cervix and the larynx are so connected. And I know that so many of us in this community have done so much womb work. And this is just such a beautiful amplifier for bringing all the codes and the healing that you've done around your womb. And so I really hope you enjoy this episode. I hope you have some takeaways and that it gives you the freedom and the permission to sing or to chant. Again, you guys, I was kicked out of treble trios in junior high. I'm not a singer by nature. By how I grew up. And so it's just not about that, but it's been so liberating for me on every level to just use my voice. And my friend said that today when and I were talking. She said that how her son is requesting a certain humming or she's like, I don't want you to sing words. I want you to just like sing that special song. And it's just interesting how our children pick that up, because even my child, when I started we usually sing a little song to them as they go to sleep. But when I started to really activate the voice intentionally and use my voice to bring through more of my true essence and to really feel my divinity coursing through my whole body, it was interesting because I was singing to my son one night, and my son said, Mom, did someone fix your voice? And, these children can pick up on that. They pick up on frequency and energy way quicker than they do with words. So anyways, I really hope you guys enjoy this episode. It was such a fun one for me to record, to like be a part of. And I'm so grateful that Dani let me put it on the podcast. And again, if you're interested in anything she has to offer, you'll find all the links you need in the show notes. Her energy is incredible. She'll carry you and like lead you with so much permission if you choose to join Voices of Venus. And if not, I'm here to answer any questions that you have about activating the voice or what that could look like for you. And I hope you guys enjoy the episode.
So, I am really excited to dive in with these two today because not only are they incredible humans who have literally just like given themselves to the path. They have given themselves to the path and they have been like, no matter what, I am showing up to every initiation, every challenge, every blessing with the utmost presence because I am here to become who I'm here to be. And I refuse to take a back seat to my divinity. I am going to embrace my divinity. I am going to anchor it into my body. I am going to walk forward, even if it means getting punched in the face a couple times by the universe. Just to make sure we're nice and clean and pristine in our service. And we are doing it. And the other piece of this is of why it's so special is this is actually the first time that I'm bringing on clients of mine to one of these summits to share their voices. So both Caitlin and Monique have worked with me in group and one-on-one capacities. And it has been the privilege of a lifetime to witness both of their journeys and all of the journeys of the clients that I get to serve. It's like the best God candy there is getting this front row seat to everyone's souls and everyone's becoming. So it's a deep, deep honor for me to do this work, to be welcomed into, all of your spaces and particularly these two right now. I just want to honor and celebrate and thank you both so much for being here. So I am going to read their official bios, and then we're going to get into a little bit of a chat, and then we'll get into our chanting. And remember, this is a space where anyone can share a chant. So if you have a chant that you would like to be witnessed in or that you would like to lead the group through, that is welcome here. So, Miss Caitlin Payne, who is this woman? She is a feminine guide and way shower devoted to embodiment, healing, and building a new earth through the awakening of the feminine. She supports women in deepening their connection connection to both their humanity and divinity, guiding them back to the truth of who they innately are so they can breathe, walk, and speak from a place of deep embodied authenticity. Through somatics, energy work, emotional honesty, feminine mysticism, and light language, she supports women through healing, motherhood, that's a big one, identity, and personal transformation with more softness, clarity, and courage. Arr! Let's get some goddess letter for, for Caitlin. And next we've got Monique. And Monique Temple is a guide and facilitator who creates space for individuals to reconnect with their truth through energy healing, sound, and ceremonial practice. Her work is rooted in bridging the physical and energetic realms, allowing for deeper awareness, presence, and alignment within the body. Through intuitive space holding and frequency based work, she supports others in softening back into themselves and accessing a more authentic and embodied expression. So, are we all sensing a theme here? We all just want to be our most authentic, divine key code selves. So, if that feels resonant to you, you're in the right room. So, Caitlin, Monique, I'll have you unmute. Just welcome to the space. Is there anything you want to add before we hop into our combo?
I just want to say it's a huge honor to be here, and I'm extremely excited, extremely nervous, and I was very intimidated leading up to this day because, like, not only am I sharing a stage with Dani, but with Caitlin, so a lot of doubt was creeping in, but I'm here, and I know I belong here.
You do belong here, and we love your doubt. It's welcome here too. We can give it a cup of tea at the table. How about you, Caitlin?
Yeah, I'm just so excited to be here. I feel like there's so many women who might not know why they're even here or why they keep coming back. And I totally understand that place. And I just hope that I can put some English verbiage to what might be happening for you because I was you even just like a year ago. And just so honored to be here and share this sacred space with all of you. It's such a gift for me. So
Thank you, sisters. All right. Well, Caitlin, let's start there actually with you because you kind of hit it on the head, right? I feel like part of this becoming path and becoming who we are, there's often these heart whispers, there's these heart pulls that maybe our mind doesn't 100% know how to get on board with, but there's so much magic on the other side of that trust. And so, if you could share just how you found me, I find this story hilarious and magical, and I absolutely love it. It's really a fun one. That would be wonderful.
yeah. So about a year ago, I've been on a, like a spiritual metaphysical journey for a long time while also leading in the last 10 years a childhood religion, a high demand religion. So there's kind of been a lot of crossover and interweaving between that. And before I found Danny, I was kind of feeling this pull like I would be, stretching or doing some somatics at night. And I'm like, all I know is that the somatics aren't actually working for me anymore. And I felt this like I need to chant. But I had never had any chanting experience. I never had anyone in my life who was chanting. I just would turn on Rebecca Campbell's song and I would just start to sing with the song. And my husband's like, "What's happening in there?" Because I do it in our closet. I'm like, "I don't know, but my voice just needs to get something out." And then I actually made a new friend last year, like, out of the blue, and she had just said and she's not as metaphysical or woo-woo as I am, but she had just looked at me and was like, "Do you speak light language?" And that was on the outer edge of my consciousness, like, it wasn't something that was, like, close to me, I didn't have anyone who had done that, and she had just said that she was at a medicine journey and some woman had spoken light language over her. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I do it and I need to know why I do it and what is it and what is this weird stuff. But I know that I do it and something is happening here. And so from there, I just kind of got the ping of like, my voice needs to be activated. But I knew that it wasn't singing lessons. I was like, it's not about singing and like hitting the right note. So I was on a priestess page by happenstance. I was like, how can I find this person? Like, cause on Instagram, I'm like, vocal activation at the top, trying to find, I'm like, what am I looking for? So on this priestess page on Facebook, I had just like said, I'm looking for a priestess who can like help activate my voice. does anyone know anyone? And Dani Frederick was one of the 3 referrals that I had gotten, and I looked at the Others Women page and I was like, "No, that's not it." And then I looked at Dani's page and I was like, "She's it, but I don't this is super weird." I don't know what this is. So I just got on her website. I scheduled a one-on-one call, not ever having known her or met her. No one I knew her followed her. And then we got on a one-on-one discovery call, and I was like, my spirit is telling me that my voice needs to be activated, and I don't know if you do that. I don't know what I'm asking for. I don't know what that means, but I just know that something's happening here." And Dani was like, "Yeah, I help you do that." And I'm here. We have a soul contract, and I'm here to help you do that. And I just knew. I was like, I have no idea what I'm signing up for, but here's my money. I'll sign the contract. And so we started out in a one-on-one container together. And my first call, we were doing similar things that you've been doing with Dani the week, where she's like, "I'm speaking light language, you're speaking light language." And I just remember feeling very uncomfortable and, like, asking him, like, "Is this evil?" And that was something I'm like, I'm like, have some religious programming happening right now. I don't know if this is okay. And so anyways, that's kind of the starting point for me.
Yeah, and so we entered into this 3-month vocal container, and then from there, we've been working together for, I think actually over a year now, so or
Yeah.
maybe just about. What is math in months? We can't do
Yeah.
that in this temple. We don't do linear left brain mind right now. And, Monique, I know we're connected through Delphine, but can you just bring me through the process of how you found me and what that heart pull was for you to join Holy Fire?
Yeah, of course. So just going back just a tad, in 2024, I started my spiritual journey through Reiki. After I completed Reiki 1, that's when light language just came through for me. I had no idea what the hell it was. I kind of just like with Caitlin, someone brought up light language. I Googled it. I started reading people's experiences when it came online for them. And I was like, oh shit, it's light language. Immediately the next day, October 31st, it started to flow vocally. And I was just like, okay, I don't know what the hell to do with this. And I had worked with someone previously to Danny with my light language, and it was great and it was amazing, but it wasn't it. And I was actually at the point where I'm like, I need to find somebody. I need to find a program. I need to find someone who's gonna teach me how to cultivate this gift along with Reiki. And at this point, I had light language came online for about 6 months at this point, and Delphine, I was blessed with meeting her at a drum birthing ceremony. We ended up following each other on Instagram. She was a host on one of your 10-day summits, free summits. And so I saw that post and I was like, well, fuck it. It's free. 10 days. Like, I got nothing to lose. Signed up day one. I immediately knew, like, this is it right here. This is she is her. And it just I just knew it. Like I felt it in my bones, and you mirrored to me what I felt I how I would hold space for my clients, because up until this point I hadn't seen it, because like I said, I knew plenty of Reiki practitioners, but this what we do here is special and unique, and you just don't find it everywhere. So the fact that you were just like owning it and just like moving it so powerfully and so wonderfully. And I was just like, I need that. I want to do that. So that's when I signed up for Holy Fire. And what it's been a year now, and it's been fucking amazing. And I so grateful that I found you and that I said yes.
Oh, thank you so much, sister. I'm like, I just kind of want to listen to. I'm like, I'm a words of affirmations girly. I'm like, this is nice. Why haven't we done this sooner? Oh, thank you, sisters. Well, Monique, let's continue with that. So, focusing in on the voice, because I've seen you both go through some pretty radical transformation. I mean, you both have always been powerhouses. You've all both been really connected, even though sometimes maybe you might have second guessed it. But like I can, when I see someone and I know, I'm like, oh yes, very much so. And I feel that a lot with people who are curious about working with me. They're like, I don't know, like I just got out of a religion, or I just woke up a year ago. But it's almost like they're these reincarnated, like ancient priestesses, because they understand all of it. It's so familiar in the heart. They're just kind of like, oh, I'm new to this. And I'm like, no, you're actually not new at all. You're new in this lifetime, but you actually know exactly what you're doing, and your heart is leading you and your soul is leading you. And I've seen you both go through this radical transformation of really owning your voice and having it shift not only so much in like your confidence and your show up and the literal like light that comes through your eyes and your face, but also some big shifts in how you're offering your work in the world, but also how you're showing like up in family and other relationships. So I just want to first hone in on, and Monique, will have you kick us off here. What are some of the ways that the voice has shifted, changed, or empowered your inner world, like your relation to self?
Ooh, where to start? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. So in my personal life, me being able to cultivate that self-love where I'm not seeking validation outside of me, and I am confident in who I am and the fact that I am worthy to verbalize and express myself verbally, really allowed me to show up with compassion when I'm speaking to loved ones. So I'm a recovering people pleaser, recovering codependent. So at first, my words were coming out sharp, like because I was angry. So I was speaking my truth, but also being hella mean at the same time. I wasn't intending to be, but that's just the way it was coming out. When I finally was able to balance that, because I forgave myself and I did all of the healing and inner work that I had to do and forgave others as well. I was able to then truly speak from the heart so that people can let it land. And I've seen a huge shift, especially in my marriage, where we can actually just have conversations instead of like attack fests about things that, we're not really liking, or maybe we need to tweak this or that. So that has been amazing, because honestly, I didn't think it was ever going to improve, because my baggage, his baggage, like I was just like, there's a lot of work to do there. So that's been huge. And as far as in my work, I mean, girl, a month, I was looking at my Instagram, a month after starting to work with you, that's when I started to verbalize on Instagram. That's when I came out of the closet, the spiritual closet, and then I actually spoke into the camera on Instagram, which I had never, ever, ever done before. I had a full blown panic attack after I did that. But after that, I just kept showing up. I just kept posting, using my voice. And, you know, with light language and sound, like I have to get comfortable with me expressing my voice. Like there's no fucking way around it, dude. Like, let's go. So knowing that you had my back, we're doing energetic hygiene, we're doing the declarations, like everything we were doing in Holy Fire was just giving me life and giving me my sovereignty back to slowly step into it and reclaim everything that I am, so that I'm truly just showing up for me and for what I feel passionate about, and what that fire within me is like really yearning for. So walking alongside not just you, but the sisters that were in Holy Fire, everyone was so inspirational. And you backing me, Danny, I felt like I could just conquer the world. Honestly. Like seriously, I was just like, Danny's got my back, y'all, and she says I can fucking do this. I believe and I trust in that.
And
So
now what? She's fucking doing it. She is doing it. Okay, let's just flag that. Let's just flag that real quick.
yeah.
So friggin' inspired by you, and thank you for showing up and being who you are, like, especially I mean, and it keeps expanding too, you know, I messaged her the other day, I was like, "Whoo, what is going on?" I'm like, "Your Instagram has totally upgraded again, like, you are on fire." What are you feeling like you're really being called into right now through your voice?
Um, right now, I'm really feeling called to bring to my community here in Phoenix, the chanting circles. And I'm also have started opening to one-on-one sessions as well through Zoom. Because it's just like, where do I start? I feel like Zoom is like the perfect thing to start with because you can just touch so many more people's lives from the comfort of their home. But I do also know that there is huge medicine within me that I have to provide in person. So more to come.
More to come. If you're in Phoenix, make sure you look up Monique, connect with her on Instagram, like, you know, do some light language together, attend one of her ceremonies. It's gonna be dope. Caitlin, so same question for you. Like the voice, how has it empowered you both in your relationship to yourself? And then also, same thing. I feel like you had some big shifts, like in family and relationships, and then also in your expression of your sacred work. And anything
Yeah.
else you want to throw in.
All of the above. I feel like my whole life has really been a journey back to my sovereignty and back to finding my divinity. And at the point that I found you, it's like I had tried, like, I'm no stranger to woo woo things, and I'm no stranger to trying new things. And what I really love about the voice is that it's just yours. It's inherently yours, your frequency, your vibration. It's free, it's inside of you. And I've already prior to doing voice work, I had already hosted many women's circles, been to a lot of women's circles, and witnessed myself being able to feel my emotions, being able to move things through my body somatically, doing medicine journeys, doing all these things, but still feeling like something wasn't in coherence with my divinity in the fullest expression that I wanted to feel like. And and that's the gap that I was trying to figure. I'm like, what's the modality? What is the thing? And again, it's this interesting dynamic between like us always searching for the thing outside of us. And what I love about this voice container is that it's truly just yours, although Dani showcases and leads the group. Um, like the voice is yours. And I would find as I'm with women in circles, like they're willing to, journal, we're willing to go into meditation. And here's the thing, like ask a mom to lay down her life for her children. And every mom would say, yes, absolutely, I will lay down my life. But ask a mom, a woman, a queen of her life to seeing her power and seeing her truth, and she would rather die most of the time is what I'm finding in my women's circles. It's like the most empowered women are coming to my circles, and then I ask them, like, "Hey, we're gonna do a chant," and people are like, "Me." And I find that to be so interesting, and I have experienced that. There's no shame, no judgment. It's just like, wow, what is that disconnect here? Like, why are we so scared? And even if you just notice when you're having a sticky conversation with someone, how your voice trembles, or you might get sweaty armpits, or you might have a pit in your stomach. Though I'm like, that's the bridge. Like the voice is that bridge that strengthens it because it it starts in the womb, and I know everyone on this call has probably done womb healing. Because if you're in this world, I feel like womb healing is such a entry point to this work, and the womb brings the codes up to the voice, and through the voice, I just noticed that my field became so much more stable. And I also was so aware of how my field, my energetic body, my aura felt so composed of coaches, mentors, healers, different modalities of things that I was trying to make stable, but couldn't because it was never truly my own frequency. There was truth in it, but my voice and my frequency brought an inner stability that goes beyond words. And if you think about God, God, source, divinity, however you think about it, they're not speaking in English language. They speak through sound, tone, frequency. And so I feel like there are things within inside of me in my heart that needed to be spoken to encode my field that my mind can't even comprehend. that can't even put English words to, of like, here's what I want. Because all of us have a seed in our hearts of the type of um living that we want to be in. Like we are like, I know that something else is possible. Like this can't be it. And that's really where I feel like the voice is the bridge to the things that you don't have to even think about. Of like, okay, I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to do da 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 da, and then I'm going to journal this out. We're all that's requiring us to use our minds, and the voice acts as the rainbow bridge in between. And so that's really the biggest difference is I just felt so settled in my body and so expressed and so alive. And it's interesting because if you've my husband, he's a 6'2" construction worker. This man owns a roofing company. He drives a truck. Like he owns a gun. Like he's like kind of a tip. Like if you saw him, you would think that's like a typical all-American male man. And it's not like I've ever come to him and been like, okay, so I'm doing light language, so I want you to do light language. And it's just interesting to see how even stepping into my power, how that's just Bluetooth to him naturally. And how now I notice when he is decompressing from his day, he's humming, he's singing, he's like making sounds in his body. And I'm like, and it's never been a conversation of like, hey, you should do this. He just hears me because it's become more expressed. And what I've loved about it in my marriage is that if any of you are married or in like a serious partnership, you know that there's always one piece of you that feels hidden from your partner. You're like, if they see this part of me, I don't know, they might want to run away. They might not like this. And I feel like him just hearing me sing, because that took a lot of courage for me to do my calls in the house when I knew that I was singing with Danny. And at first he would make fun of me, or first he'd be like, what's happening in there? People, people, boo. He's like, but it's so beautiful the way now he's like, "I love when I hear you sing in the mornings." Like, I love it, and it's so great because now my boys come in, and the way that so Danny, your story earlier today, when I started working with Danny, because I sing to my boys every single night, my son was the one who said, "Mom, someone fixed your voice." After I started working with Danny because something new was coming through. And then so in the mornings, I do a little morning ritual practice and use my voice. And my boys love coming in here and they ask for me to sing over them because they just like, this makes me feel really good. Or they just want to sit by me and like put their hand on me while I'm just doing it. And so it's just interesting to see the ripple effect it's had on my crew. And yeah, I just feel much more stable, much more empowered, and much more clear on what my energy is like, what my voice is like, what my frequency is like. Because it's really easy to lose yourself and to lose like what your actual magic is. And the voice is the best way I have found so far for me to really remember that and step into that. So,
Amen. Amen. Preach, 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 preach. And you even have started a podcast recently. And I feel like not only are you using your voice in that way, which is a huge like threshold to walk through, but you've wasted no time in being like, actually, I'm going to talk about some really vulnerable stuff. Actually, I'm going to bring all this stuff about motherhood to the forefront so we can all start to talk about it and get some support. Actually, I'm going to reach out to some like pretty big names. Like literally she had someone on her podcast and I was like, "Woman, how did you get her?" And she's like, "Well, you told me to join her newsletter." So I joined her newsletter and then I reached out to her and I was like, just so you know, I'm pretty sure she's like a big fucking deal. And you just got like a big fucking deal on your podcast." And she's like, "Yeah, I guess." But that's what I really am talking about when it's like we're closing the gap from knowing and inspiration to action. And we're lessening the dial in that gap of fear and questioning. It might still be present, it might still come along for the ride, but it's not driving the bus. And that's what helps actually the voice then. It's like that's kind of like the mechanics of the voice comes in, it encodes our body with more of our soul light, and then we just start to move with before we think, before we engage the mind. And the mind becomes more of an observer as the divine simply flowing through us. And when the divine's moving through us, we're in flow with our radiance. We're in flow with our soul blueprint. We're in flow with the highest and best next step and opportunity and potential to unfold. So, wow, sisters, thank you so much for that. I'd love to hear from both of you what it's meant to be in a sisterhood, because part of Voices of Venus is, again, like, right, it's not learning to sing, it's this remembrance and reinstatement. But there's also this other aspect of that I think is a bit unique, that in Holy Fire and Voices of Venus, of you're with sisters who get it. And when I say get it, I don't always mean mentally, because, right, I said there's a lot of people that have a heart pull and they're like, I know I'm meant to be here, and my mind's like catching up on the eons of lifetimes that I've lived. Um, but get it as in, that this is my highest priority. This is my highest intent. And I want to sit next to sisters and see them rise. And I want them to cheer me on as I rise. And I just want to hear from you guys, like, what has that meant in your life, sisterhood? Whoever wants to go first.
Um, for me, it was something. It was somewhat of a. I'm gonna- I'm just gonna be corny. It was a dream come true, and I didn't even know how much my soul was yearning for that until I actually got it. Growing up, I was a total tomboy, and I always just got along better with the boys. And I remember saying, like, there's just gossip and there's just this or bickering with women. So like, I just felt more at ease being friends with boys. And so I didn't really have that growing up as far as like a supportive, even role model that was a female. So I kind of just grew up very in my masculine. And so growing up, trying to really unleash the divine feminine, I didn't even know that it was that big of a missing piece for me. So when I was finally in a room with women that are supporting me, women that are like genuinely cheering me on, there's no like talking behind my back. It's just genuinely like, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And how can I support you? And it was just like, I will forever carry everyone in Holy Fire will forever be family to me. And I mean, whether you like it or not, you're stuck with me, y'all. So,
Amen. Hey, well, we're blessed to be stuck with you. You're welcome in my ride
yeah.
anytime. And how about for you, Caitlin? What has sisterhood meant for you?
Yeah, sisterhood was really hard for me. I'd grown up with sisters. I was a hairdresser for 14 years. So I've been around a lot of women, and I've also done a lot of group containers. And I didn't want to be a part of Holy Fire. It was actually Dennis like, "I really feel like you should be a part of Holy Fire," because I was from 101, and I was like, "I've been burned so many times in group containers," and it has had nothing to do with women or even the women who facilitate. It's just kind of this general sense of like, I don't know, I'm in a really vulnerable state. This feels really vulnerable for me, and I just don't really know if I really wanna put myself out. I don't know what this group container is gonna mean. I don't really know if it's gonna be worth my time. And, I mean, I've paid a lot of money for a lot of things and left a lot of containers feeling like that was not worth it for me. And, I can definitely say that my husband, and if my husband says something, then it is true. But he was like, "That container was worth every dollar for you," and he hasn't said that about any other container. This man doesn't speak lies about stuff like that. But, being in the container was a, event after, because at first I was like, "This is kind of weird. We're all doing something kind of weird together." But for me, it was actually helpful moving through that stickiness, being with other women and seeing how easy it came, how I perceived that it came easy for some women. I'm like, "Wow, they're like really expressing." And it really actually just gave me so much more permission to be me, watching other women be them without, like, apologizing for light weaving or shaking or moving. I'm like, I actually really wanna do that, but it's freaking weird, and I don't wanna be the one on camera who's doing that. But then after that time of that, spirit's like, girl, like, it doesn't matter what you look like, it's how you feel within your body, and I just so that's what was I think the most healing part of being in sisterhood for me, is just watching other women show up so unapologetically them and speaking,
Mm.
and also when, you know, other women are coming online, and you might have felt this while you've been in the container of like, "I don't know, I'm not getting the visions, I'm not seeing things." Watching other women and how they process things opens up portals and gateways for you to experience that within yourself. And so to be in such an eclectic array of women from all across the world, from ages 26 to 83 in this last, Holy Fire container we were in, we had a full array of women and lifestyles and backgrounds and ethnicities and countries, and the way that they went through the container really gave me so much permission to just be me, and that felt like the greatest gift of like, "Wow, okay, if she's doing it, like, I'm gonna be the weird one if I'm not being myself." And if I'm not actually going all in, then I will be the one who's the odd duck out, and also don't want that. So, if we're here, I'm just going all in because these women are going all in, and I think that is the magic of sisterhood, is just really supporting each other and being like, "Hey, I see you. That's really uncomfortable, and I'm so grateful for the gift you shared because now it's given me permission to use my imagination to access that gift with inside of me." And, that's probably been the greatest takeaway as far as sisterhood from Holy Fire.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, right, you even feel it when we integrate. I love Jerry's like, "I'm crying, baby. We love you." Tina's over there crying. Jenna, what up? I'm sure there's more on the screen. I can only see a little strip, while I have these 2 spotlighted. But that is it's like when we talk about normalizing the magic, I love how you put that. It's like normalizing the magic so much so that if you're not being wildly expressed and authentic and totally in your woo, then you actually are the odd one out, you know? And we would still love you, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like that's what it takes, I feel, to shift these realities. It's like we need to make these new realities where that is the new normal. Expression, divinity, authenticity is the new normal. And Monique, to your point, I feel like I've it's so funny. I've had so many conversations before people join my containers where they're like, I don't know about a group container. I don't know about sisterhood. I've been burned before. I've been burned before. Like way too many. We're to the point where I'm like, what's happening in these other containers? Like, what is happening? Because I'm like to the point where I was telling like my mom or something. I was like, I think my groups are just like sisterhood rehab. I think we're just like rehabbing and reintroducing people to like be safe and be in connection and be in truth and be in love and be in honor and be in the divinity of it all. And so from this, then we all walk as that frequency. We walk as the frequency of sisterhood. We walk as the beacons of authenticity. We walk as the permission slips, just sprinkling our fairy dust everywhere for other people to become more empowered. So I am just so grateful to both of you to saying yes to yourselves and also just your trust in me. Thank you. It means the world to me. And thank you for showing up with everything. Both of you have taken everything that we've learned, that we've explored, and you've put it into practice and you've implemented it. And that's how things shift in this world. So that's my greatest, like, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So with that, I'm going to pop some links in the chat and we're going to go into our chanting section. So first and foremost, we've got some links for Caitlin. Caitlin, do you want to talk about your free summit gift that you have there? It's the
Yeah, this
meditation.
is, just a meditation called Safe to Feel, and the biggest if you're having any hesitancy about feeling your voice come through you, Uh, it's really, to me, about the emotions. It's about learning to feel and be okay with that. And to that point, it's not like I've walked out of this container with Danny and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm free from ever feeling uncomfortable being in my full magic. Like, I walk everywhere in my full magic and I'm fully expressed all the time. There are still moments like where I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling uncomfortable again. I'm feeling resistance. And I think this meditation, I created it just because I feel like we need to start holding multiple truths at once, but letting our divinity lead the way. And so it's more so about, hey, how can I feel? What's actually happening? And then, love it so much and then move forward as the woman that I want to be while still holding this part that feels maybe sticky or hurt. And anyways, that's what that I created this meditation for. So I hope it serves you if you choose to use it.
Yes, and Caitlin is in Voices of Venus. She's in. The hubby was like, "Yes." We even recorded a video at our retreat for him to feel good about getting me in the family budget yet again. And Caitlin, can you just quickly hit on, because I think you articulate this so well. I mean, you said it. It's like, okay, I've had this massive transformation and like I still have those gateways of fear. And so I'm investing in support. It's like, what's the difference that you've experienced in being in group programs? I mean, you've been in many, some that sounds like haven't worked out so well, some that have really served you. What is your experience in how your life changes when you're in a program that's highly supportive versus trying to figure it out on your own just through like books and podcasts and
I
meditating and
mean,
things?
night and day difference, having accountability, having people along on the journey with you makes a huge difference. It's the difference between like if you've never worked out and you're like, I'm gonna go to the gym and you're just going to 24-hour fitness on your own. It's intimidating. You get to the gym, you're like, I don't freaking know. I hope I can do this on the app. I hope I have enough confidence to claim that machine. Oh my gosh, that huge guy's on the machine. I can't do it. Like between then you're going to a boutique gym where someone's like, "Hey, we're all doing the same thing at the same time. I've already created the playlist. I've created the workout. All you have to do is just show up." That is the difference where you're like, "Okay, I know that I can be held." And I feel like it turns from, trying to bake a cake by myself that I've never made to like a cooking class that's just beautiful and I'm held and I feel safe. And yeah, I just feel like it collapses timelines truly for me and just it's a launching pad for me. Every time when I have more one-on-one or group support. So
Thank
yeah.
you. Yes, yes. I highly agree. I mean, you guys know I introduce everyone. Look, I think Monique can attest. She said this. I'm like, I don't gatekeep. All of my clients also meet my mentors. Monique, can you tell us about your summit gift that you've put together? Her links are in the chat. Connect with her, especially if you're in Phoenix. And then she also does Zoom work. Same with Caitlin. She does Zoom work. Go ahead, Monique.
I created a guided light language clearing and activation journey for everyone. I thought it was going to be like a 15, 20 minute dealio. Once I got in it, it ended up being like 45 minutes. It's pretty powerful, connecting the womb, the heart, the throat, clearing it all, and then bringing through coherence to all of it. There were some very powerful guides that came through along the journey as well. So, and obviously now I'm seeing how this is really perfect for after this journey with you, Dani, this 5 days to kind of just add a little zhuzh to everything that we've done and to continue and support the journey that everyone started here. So if you feel called, check it out. It's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
That's right. That's right. And everyone
Um,
in the sisterhood leaves with more swagger and confidence to just be like, yo, this is fucking dope. It's straight. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it because it's just divinity moving through me. Okay. It's not even me. And that's how I get. Sometimes I'm in my one on ones and I'm like, actually, I've had this moment with both of you where we get done with the one-on-one, we're like, holy shit, that was amazing. That was the most powerful thing. What was that? Because what we do is we become these divine conduits. We're like, our human self is just observing. It's like, oh shit, spirit is showing off. Okay. Okay, go off. People were saying go off in the chat the other day, you guys. And I don't know if that's like a Gen Z thing, but I will say I felt cool. I was like, wait, am I like a cool millennial? Am I?
You are.
Duh.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
you
Oh my
are.
gosh! Oh my
There's
gosh!
no
You guys.
question about that.
I know. I think Sydney's on here. I think she was one of them that was like, "Go off, Dani." And I like looked at the comments later. I was like, "Ooh, am I? I'm like kind of cool." So that really made me smile and laugh. So thank you both so much for coming on and sharing your codes and your wisdom and your transformation. Can we just give them some major, 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 major like goddess glitter? Thank you for joining me today. If this episode spoke to your heart, please share it with another woman on her journey. And until next time, stay rooted in your humanity and devoted to your becoming.